Hey there folks, rinimt here, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward! In the last part, we made it to Ishgard and started working on the story, and also unlocked Astrologian. So we unlocked the Arcana gauge, which allows us to keep track of which card Arcanum is currently drawn. This has undergone a few transformations, but yeah, this is basically one of the things that, you know, is like key to Astrologian. Anyway, so the reason I'm doing this now instead of waiting is because I want the skill it gives. Fortune favors the bold. Now, listen carefully, for we have much time. Star Globe, which you hold, is both your sword and shield. Grant you strength as well as protection. The most important of all, it will grant you insight into the current location of the stars, enabling you to channel the heavens' ether into your body for use in all manner of magics. The better attuned you become with the heavens and their malefic and benefic properties, the better the aether might be manipulated to bring succor or pain. But you already know the Star Globe is not the only tool an Astromancer has at her disposal. Yes, the Arcana, and more specifically the 6 major Arcana, play a defining role in what type of Astrologian you will become. Anyway, Min will tell you that the cards can predict a man's future. This is both true and untrue. It is not the future that the card predicts, but the card influencing the man, so the certain future becomes more attainable. Seeking to tell a man's fortune, you draw a card from your deck. Upon reading the card, you scribe that the man will be victorious in the coming battle. What is it that brings this man his victory but aether untapped from one of the lower 6 heavens, granting the man strength, making it all that much easier for him to overcome his enemy? Of course, what card is drawn is linked directly to a target's destiny as well as yours. Are you the one who will see this man's fortune, or will you lead him to his downfall? All depends on your reading. Normally, I would not dare cover so much in the first lesson, but it is my grandfather who has placed his life in your hands. I'm not about to watch him have his throat slit because you cannot tell the face of an Arcana from its back. We have 2 seemingly capable soldiers here to take the brunt of the bandits' blows. Allow them to carve a trail of carnage while you convince the stars to nudge the 2 in a direction favorable to my kin. I understand this must be a lot to digest, but if you are ever to become a capable Astrologian, you must believe in the path laid out for you and in your power to read it, follow it, and ultimately control it. Take some time to acclimate yourself to your new abilities and let me know when you are ready to begin. You'll learn all Astrologian actions and traits to level 30. Detailed descriptions can be viewed in the Action and Traits window, accessed under Character in the main menu. So yeah, we are automatically level 30, much like when we unlocked Red Mage, we're automatically level 50. Yes, we are level 30, which sucks. We have to get all the way up there. That is not the traits and actions window. So you can see up to level 30, except for this diurnal sect, because that is our quest reward. And, yeah. So, Astrologian is a healer. You got your basic Cure 1, Cure 2, or Benefic 2. You got your damage over time effect. You got your not damage over time effect. Your basically your attacking spell. You got MP recovery, like Red Mage has, Asuna, AoE recovery, raising, your oh shit button for healing. It's not as much of an OSH as, say, White Mage has, but it helps. I see in your eyes that you are ready. Whether that actually makes you ready or not, only time will tell. Time, unfortunately, is something we no longer have in abundance. Let's take the shadows and find out where these bandits are holding my grandfather. May the stars be our guides. So yeah, we'll be staked for level 34, because obviously the next quest is 35, blah 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 blah. Yeah, you get where I'm going with that, right? Okay. Oh, these bandits in way of us locating our grandfather. Or my grandfather. Not our grandfather, my grandfather. So, we can... So typically you can't actually do this, because these aren't actually in our parties, but, are in our party. Oh my god. Speaking is difficult. But because this is like a special thing, we can't actually target these guys with our cards. So yeah, normally you can't do that, but for this we can. So there is that. Go ahead and tune this guy because the damage over time effect. It's covered from my grandfather's deck. He's leaving us a trail to follow. Arya, its power is now your own. So, I guess we have been granted access to another card. Something. My card is, oh, balance. I guess I should, like, do that, huh? I need to make this smaller. Save. There are 6 major arcana. We must find the other cards. So, you do have this undraw button. You basically never honestly use undraw. I don't even know why I'm keeping it set. But yeah, so you can force change it, withdraw, however, draw, as you can see, has a 30-second cooldown. No, I guess they're following me. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. Let's talk about cards. So, anyway. I honestly haven't done this in literally years, so I don't fully remember this quest either. We can go ahead, toss this on. I may have to grab some macros off my main character. But other than that, basically, yeah. So, I don't remember if I've talked about, like, Asuna, or, like, stuff that can be, like, cured, like sass elements. But yeah, if you see like a little bar above a sass element, that means it can be cured. I don't see anything here. Got an arrow card over there. Got an Ewer card over here. This is a dead end, so let's go this way. Hi. Do you like want to come help me? Thank you. Oh, excuse me. Oh my gosh. Seriously, leave me alone. So, the other major thing to really know about these different cards is what they're effective against depends. So, like, there's 3 that are best used on your mages or ranged characters in general. And there's 3 that are best used on your frontline people, so your tanks and your melee. This is gonna get a little more technical to try and describe, but, yeah, so the way I remember it is, before Shadowbringers came out, the cards were assigned, like, had specific buffs or just how, like, what they would do. And there was essentially 3 useful cards and 3 cards that were best used for buffing. So that's honestly the way I remember what card is for what. The cards that were best used for buffing other cards are the ones for your backline, your mages, and your ranged. And the ones that were actually good for putting on people are for your frontline ones. So like this bull here, that's for a backline character. I'll go over a little bit more. The Spire that you see up there is another one that is for, I think Spire is? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Spire is. Yeah, so that is another one that is for your backline. Yeah, Spire is. Now I say like certain ones were like good for like your backline or whatever, and that's, some of them just weren't good, which is honestly why they like completely revamped the cards. In some ways I miss the old system. In other ways I don't. Should probably heal this guy. So that's the other thing. Like, I called the seal ship button, but it did heal less than that benefit too I just did. However, the biggest thing to note with it is that it's an instant, so it instantly goes off. You don't have to have a cast time on it. It does, however, have a cooldown, so you can only use it every 30 seconds. Yeah, see, Spire, I was right. Spire is for your mages. Like I said, that's just generally how I remember them. I'm sure everyone has their own system, but since I played Astrologian in Stormblood, a lot. Yeah, I just like let's do a Helios here. Heal up everyone. Sir, oh my gosh, these cards are like annoying to find. I literally don't remember this. Could actually be like using my cards. So arrow, that's another one used for your front line, even when it's called arrow. Yeah, it's for the front line because it used to be a useful card. I think it was like, oh gosh, I don't even remember what it gave. I think spear, the one I'm picking up right here, spear was your critical hit. Balance was damage. Arrow might have been speed? I think. Whatever it was, arrow was a good one. Throw down your weapons, Kerr. You have no choice but to release the professor and meet the same fate as your man. No choice, eh? Whatever choice all along was across blades. Houseboy, now come closer. And I didn't mean to put that on him, actually. Or on me. But, like, yeah, I definitely need to, avoid Zen. The stand is more than she appears. I definitely need to set up my macros here. Doesn't help for NPCs like this, but it does help. Yeah, so there's the status element. I want to hear those. It does help for parties. So cards-wise, you always want to either have, as often as you can, you want this cooldown to be running so that you're drawing your card, or you want to have a card on someone, because it adds damage. Like, if you use it on a, on the right type of job, so like, if I use that, wait, did I just let someone die? I think I just let someone die. Shoot. I was busy talking. I wasn't paying attention to HP. If you die, of course you can choose difficulty. I'm just gonna choose normal. Ah, it sucks. So what was I talking about? Right. Besides me apparently just not paying attention. So the cards do affect different types of jobs differently. So like the good for melee ones will give a 6% DPS boost to, well, melee or tanks, and the good for mages / range ones will give a 6% boost the opposite the other way. Otherwise, it's only a 3% boost. So I mean, if you're in a party of say 2 ranged characters and a tank, I will always still give it to the DPS, just because like they're generally going to be doing more damage than say your tank is. Jesus, he's like trying to take 1,000,000 points of damage. What the heck? I'm like trying to keep him alive, and he's like, no, I'm good. I like dying. It's like because I'm putting arrow on myself. Yeah, that's how close I was to winning. Because I'm putting arrow on myself, I'm only getting like a 3% DPS, but 3% boost to my DPS. But I put it on one of the NPCs because they're melees / tank, they would have gotten a 6%. So obviously it's not like big, but you do want to min-max in that way. Of course, if the RNG hates you... I was not told there would be 2 Astrologians. Enough of this. I am Quimperain, in the employ of Lord Jenna Quinard. I am sent to escort you back to Ishgard. Are you unhurt, my lord? Jenna Quinard, you say? And where is my former student? His constant pestering is one of the reasons I agreed to make this long trip from the old world. I see none but Quimperain in this adventure. I, too, have seen no other. Just like you didn't see those bandits until their knives were up our arses. But that is of no matter. It is all as the stars had foretold. Yes, I saw this adventurer long before even setting foot on this accursed continent, when the Arcana whispered and told me I would find a worthy successor for my soul crystal. Having witnessed how she eased into her new role, but mere moments after taking up the crystal globe and deck... Yes, I knew at once my reading was true and that this adventurer was the Astrologian I had been seeking, but now let's see if she has the potential for greatness within her. Look to the skies, Arya, and there you will see 6 stars aglow in pale yellow. This is the bowl. This constellation is thought to be the gate to the first heaven, the heaven which holds the world tree. Planted by the matron and nurtured by the keeper, the world tree is the source from which all life is said to have sprung. The trunk of the world tree, or the bowl, grants strength to the weak, allowing them to stand firm in the face of adversity. So this is honestly kind of referring back to how the old cards used to be. So the bowl used to buff defense. So, no, it wasn't really that useful. It was pretty useful as a buffing to the other cards, though. I just don't remember what it was for. I think it, like, doubled the effect. I want to say it doubled the effect of whatever card it was. Power is now yours to command. A solid bowl represents a solid foundation. It is not coincidence, very difficult word to say, that this very constellation has arisen to mid-heaven at this very moment, the moment of a new astrologian's birth. And to think I saw all of this a moon ago. It seems like I am a better reader of face than I thought. But I jest. It has been a long journey with more than its share of unexpected excitement. I am an old man, and one does not need a deck of arcana to see that my weary legs will carry me much longer. Let's make haste to Ishgard so I may give that ungrateful Jenna Quinard a proper uprating. The bowl blazes in the welkin, unlocking the gate of the first heaven. Alright, back to Ishgard. Jenna Quinard, 15 summers passed, and still the flippin' clod. I lost half of my hair to the ring. Sending an adventurer to find the man you summoned halfway across Heidelin. Always taking the easy route, and you wonder why you still haven't been able to open the second Heaven's Gate. Allow me to explain, Professor. You see, I was waiting here in case you made it to Ishgard before my manservant Arya could locate you. Think of the confusion had you arrived here only to find the Athenium empty. Wait, how do you know I haven't opened all the gates? My grandfather's the greatest astrologian in all of Charlian. There is naught he doesn't know unless he doesn't wish to know it. You of all people should know that. Perhaps I was hasty in my decision to remain here and see to your training. Train me? You? But what Professor Mace? Isn't that why he made the journey? My grandfather has already completed his task. He simply came to Ishgard out of courtesy to an old pupil, and one who it appears he wasted years on. Wasted? What are you implying, my lady? Ah, my dear Leveva, you still do not see it, do you? Without Jenna Quinard still believing my children nearly 2 decades past, he never would have taken his adventure under his wing and sent her to it. Austin instead was all as the stars had planned. Your soul crystal, Professor, this adventure has stolen your soul of the Astrologian! Never the unobservant Jana. If this adventure has stolen my crystal, Leveva would have read up some terrible fate for the last. No, Arya is my successor. Something I mistakenly thought you to be, but even I cannot see every future, it seems. But do not despair, I have not given up on you completely. Despite your failings, you have tried your best to promote the Charlian School of Astrology here in this den of fools who fail to see aught and all beyond the Dragon Star. I wish to see you continue this fight, and that is why I've begged Leveva to stay here and further your and this adventure's training. I see. This is all rather overwhelming. Might I have some time to consider your words? No. You either continue your training with me and your protege, or you crawl back to obscurity. I shall give you both several turns of the sun to study the basics of Charlian astrology. And it should not be so hard for you, Jenna Quinard, considering you've had a substantial head start. Once you have committed the basics to memory, then return here. In the meantime, I'll be traveling in Eorzea, searching for locations where Arya and you will unlock the remaining Heaven's Gates. But you were only recently set upon by bandits. Perhaps traveling alone so soon is unwise. Don't you think I know that? That is why you will be lending me the services of your able manservant, Quimperain. I will. Yes, of course, Lady Leveva. Anything for the granddaughter, Charlian's finest professor of astrology. Quimperain, you heard the lady. Very good. I shall see my grandfather to the airship landing. But before we depart, let me teach you the diurnal sect, so that you may learn to wield the power of those stars which are aligned with the sun. So, we do learn diurnal sect. Yay! Sects are the other major key component to making an astrologian, but not just a wannabe white mage. As I call it before level 30. It's a wannabe white mage before level 30, because you get so much at level 30. Of course, you can level sync under, blah, 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 and you don't get access to all your skills. So yeah, next quest is available at level 30, and apparently it's not going to show up. Not even, like, showing it to me. Okay. I was gonna look at what I got next, but it doesn't want me to do that. So yeah, you want to have a sect on at all times as long as you can, because it adds region to certain actions, which of course we don't actually have those actions yet. What level do we get it? Yeah, we don't actually get our first thing affected by a diurnal sect until level 34. But yes, you always want to have one on because they are so very important. You can see we get another one, the other one at level 50, which is Nocturnal Sect. It's very, very important you have these on, because otherwise you really are just a wannabe white mage. That's all you are. Anyways, oh my gosh. I think I need to, like, break up this recording, because I am too many odds for my comfort. So, there's apparently too many phone calls. What the heck? One before I started recording this, one in the middle of recording this. Oh my gosh. The phone. Anyway.